กลับมานะครับเมื่อสักครู่เราเต็มอิ่มไปเลยนะครับกับโรบอทนะครับ Intelligent City เห็นชัดเจนเลยว่าหุ่นยนต์เข้ามามีบทบาทมากๆนะครับกับการที่เอาเข้ามาดูไม่ว่าจะเป็นเคสล่าสุดที่เป็นเคสไฟไหม้เนี่ยโอ้เห็นชัดเลยว่าเข้ามาช่วยพวกเราได้มากๆนะครับแล้วก็ต่อไปเนี้ยนอกจาก Intelligent City แล้วเราจะเข้ามาในส่วนของรีเทลละดูซิว่ารีเทลเนี่ยใกล้ตัวทุกคนมากร้านค้าต่างๆเทคโนโลยีมันมาเกี่ยวข้องได้ยังไงบางคนอาจจะรู้ตัวบางคนจะไม่รู้ตัวเลยก็ได้นะครับว่าเทคโนโลยีมันเข้ามาเกี่ยวข้องกับเราแล้วในทุกๆวันนี้นะครับเหมือนเดิมครับเรามีแชมเปี้ยนและกูรูจากหลายๆท่านหลายๆองค์กรมาวันนี้พร้อมแล้วที่จะมาเจอกันแล้วก็มาให้ความรู้เราในมุมมองต่างๆนะครับรีเทลเซสชั่นเราจะรันยาวกันต่อเนื่องเลยนะครับแล้วมี2เซสชั่นติดเลยด้วยเกี่ยวกับรีเทลใครสนใจในด้านนี้เกี่ยวกับด้าน FMCG หรือเกี่ยวกับทางรีเทลต่างๆเนี่ยน่าสนใจมากๆนะครับเดี๋ยวเราไปเชิญชมกับโมเดเลเตอร์กันเลยครับ
สวัสดีครับ Good afternoon everyone
สวัสดีครับ
ครับ I'm Keerati from Digital Solutions. It is my pleasure and honor to be the moderator for today's RetailTech emerging session. But first of all, allow me to introduce our panel. Our first panel is Kun Chong. He is the Chief Marketing Officer of Pomelo Fashion. Next,
to be here.
We have Kun Vadim, who is the co-founder and CTO of GoWabi.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
And then finally, we have Kun Bhumsaran, SVP of Development of Central Pattana or CPN ครับ
สวัสดีครับ
But before we begin, let me give you the short introductions on retail industry about customer journey, supply chain, and health and safety. First, on the customer journey, that we have changes over the time. From the past, that we have the linear customer journey, the retailers are focused mainly on presenting of products and services at their physical shop, which is unable to identify the needs of customers. Today, we can see more and more retailers are offering non-linear customer journey that uses digital technology. For example, the smart store analytics solutions that help the retailers understand customer needs, real-time heat map that illustrate customer preferences and customer journey in deep details so that the retailers can tailor-make and uplift the entire shopping experience to the next level. For the supply chain management, in the past, the heart and soul of supply chain management is to focus on the efficiency and the economy of scale, from small business to large businesses. But in this era, by the helping of the state-of-the-art technology, such as shelf management, we are able to know each metrics in real time, which enhance speed, flexibilities, and accurate management of inventory. And lastly, the trends of convenience and safety has shifted toward higher levels of health and safety due to the pandemic of COVID-19. So let's start with the successful use case from our speakers about how technology improved the retail industry in holistic view. คุณภูมิสรันครับ based on your experience, what do you think is the most successful use case among CPN selective choices of digital solution?
First of all, thank you for inviting me to join the panel. I just wanted to begin by saying that we play a part in the retail industry, not as a seller per se, but as a more developer and an operator. These are the development arm of the central group. So the objective of ours is actually driving footfall to our malls. We do this well, then a lot of people will come to our mall, and hopefully by default, our tenants will be in a good position to generate decent sales. And in a nutshell, if they do well, then obviously we will do well. By definition, we are B2B2C business. As a landlord, we do not really have a product of our own selling directly to the customers, which is a bit different. The landlord of offline and online is that we don't even get to see what the seller are selling, or even the stock availability in their shops. So to overly simplify it, I think as a landlord, we strive to do two things. One is to provide a great infrastructure for the sellers to utilize, and two are the services that we provide to the tenant as well as the consumer themselves. A lot of digital technologies employed went into design and construction. For instance, building information modeling systems. We have something like a tenant app to provide support on a day-to-day basis for our tenants in the mall. Similarly to set a portal for the online friends of there. We have digital aided tools for leasing. We have a mall management platform for over 4,000 lives that manage our malls every day, not including the temporary staff. So to me, it's like a hum in the background that people don't get to see. They only hear. If the sound's there, everything kind of a well-oiled machine. But I think in the context of what we're discussing today, I think we'll be focusing on what we're doing for our end customers, right? So I have to say that the mall, like us, or mixed-use complex, we are many things to many people. People come to our malls not just to buy, but to come here to work, to play, to live, to get inspired sometimes. And there are quite a few things, large and small, that we have to do to cater for these segments. And so every little helpful things, obviously, going into it. If I have to be selective, then I would think of something like a social platform that we have to provide to our customers in order to get them the information they needed, like shops and brand. I would not go as far as compete with my colleagues on the panel here. We can't even go to the level of product, but at least people can find out what brands are in the stores, what shops are open, especially during COVID, during the shutdown. The mall isn't shut down, but shops in the mall do. So who knows which one's open, which one is closed? So we need channels to let our customer knows information like promotions, community information, activities going on in the mall, leveraging geolocation technologies to provide our customers, other things like CRM, basic, obviously compared to our two distinguished panelists here. We're kind of a baby step there. Indoor navigation, providing assistance to shoppers as well as the delivery personnel that come in and out of our mall all the time. So, by again, that is kind of information we provide, but the technology that really get employed and we enjoy the benefit of is the technology of our partners. We have business partners that with that kind of very well thought out business model, we digitize our food court pretty much the only product that we have, and we put that online. With that technology, we can introduce something a bit new to the market, like mix and match food ordering that you don't usually have, in standard or typical online food ordering platform. So other initiatives like all the cashless initiatives that you can imagine, ticketless parking, cashless payment pipeline. We try to create not too many channels or little terminal for you to pay, and everything in between really. And for this, I have to say, listening to all this myself, I apologize if it doesn't sound sexy or even remotely advanced, but it's kind of rudimentary for our industry. And if we get this right, it should be okay. But I think the more of tomorrow in the future is definitely very, very going to be very different from what we see today.
That's a very good point of view ครับ Thank you very much ครับคุณ Bhumsaran. Next we want to hear from คุณ Vadim about GoWabi, since they have played a very important role to support the local businesses in the past years. But since there are many competitors, so what are the technologies used to keep customers coming back and engaged to your platform? Can you share it with us, please?
Yes, sure. Thank you. Very good question. And let me go back to 2016 when we just started GoWabi here in Bangkok. So at that time, if you remember, there was quite a lot of players working in that industry, like trying to get deals from like beauty salons and like massage shops. So we was thinking like how we can be different the way that the customers, they come back to us, not continue work with the big players or like other competitors on the market at that time. So that was a very essential question, and if we was not able to solve it at that time, we probably become a failed startup. So we was researching and looking around, and we figure out that one of the missing things in Thailand at the time was the application with the good user interface, where like you can like in few clicks complete your flow, get your booking done, or like buy your voucher, something like that. So we invested a lot of time and resources in the user interface, and I think until now that's one of the things which still help us to retain customers. They coming back, they give us very good feedback that it's very simple app, very easy to browse, to find something. So definitely one of the first thing I would say is the user interface. The second thing, so we started as a booking platform. Basically, as a user, he pick the service, choose a date and time, and gets an appointment. But at that time, we found that many users, they actually have a problem to know when they want to get the service. So they already know that the price is good. They want to have that service, but they don't know when. So we solve it by switching to the e-voucher system. So we give user options, or they can make an appointment now, or they can buy that service as the voucher and then use it later. And that unlock the growth for us like significantly. And until now, we see that like almost 95% of our transactions are e-vouchers, and the people, they coming back because they don't need to think when they want it. They just buy it now and then use later. And the third thing I would say is the cashback system. The cashback system, it was very successful a project we decided to try like a couple of years ago, and until now we see that this helps a lot to us to actually retain the customers, because like user gets some a little bit of like a discount with the cashback, and they come back do another booking. So I think it's great for us. So yeah, I think that's kind of main technologies we see which help us to be like important player in the ecosystem here.
I agree with you,ครับคุณ Vadim. I have bought like so many vouchers from your platform because I am the spa enthusiast and I love using your platform also. Yeah. So
thank you very
now,
much. Thank you.
Yeah. Now let's hear from the Pomelo side. คุณชองครับ how do you manage the online and offline customer experience in order to drive the customer satisfaction and what are the results?
Yeah, so I think like a few aspects, right? Like I think I just want to cover first why did we go into offline. I think that's the first part. I think when we started as an online brand, actually back then, before moving now, I suppose, into a platform. When we started as a brand, I think ultimately we wanted to bring like affordable fashion into Thailand, stylish fashion, and kind of like, I suppose, be the Zara of Thailand back in the day, right? And I think what we realized is like ultimately fashion e-commerce do not really solve a problem. Like, you sell clothes, like you sell in, central department stores and whatnot. With sure, you have convenience. You can buy on an app and you can deliver to your house. So that's convenient. But ultimately, the number one issue with fashion is returns. And the thing is, people need to try on clothes. I mean, it's just a fact. Like, but even more when it comes to women and multi-brand, like sizing is very important. And what really kills a fashion e-commerce business is actually your returns. So kind of like the logic was like, well, obviously Thailand is a retail-heavy market, even more than some others. People love going to the mall for many different reasons. And ultimately, like, we want people to try on the clothes in a convenient manner, right? So that's where we kind of like thought, okay, like let's just develop our omnichannel strategy, because most actually players go from offline to online, very rarely from online to offline. So we kind of like do our omnichannel strategy where basically we started to open Pomelo stores. And then the Pomelo stores had a few functions, 3 of them actually. The first one is to sell clothes as a regular retail store. And assuming because we have data online, we can optimize each store better. So for example, we can know that in Central Aprao, the type of customers going there because of online data, and we can kind of like have the merchandising done into the stores, tell that going to this area, and the same way with Mquarty and other. So I think that was the first part. The second part is, ultimately retail is a great asset for branding. So we kind of like look at retail as a kind of like a billboard that actually make money, as opposed to a billboard that actually you spend money on. So kind of like, it became like a branding exercise. So actually a lot of the money that we are spending on offline marketing, we basically spent it into having a retail location with the feeling that actually it's a better investment and better ROI. So that was good, I suppose. And the third one is like, I suppose the functionality that we created, which is called Tap Try Buy, where, in a few clicks, you can buy your order. If you buy early in the morning, in the late afternoon, you will have it delivered in some of the retail locations that we have. You can use the app to book your fitting room. You can, see everything on the app. Like you can do everything basically with your app. But then when you come to the stores, the sales staff will just hand you directly like your order. You can try on the clothes and you only pay for the item you love. And you don't have any transaction until the time that you decide to try on the clothes. So the friction is very, very low. You basically go online, pick whatever you want. You don't have to pay for anything. Try on whatever you want. And then I suppose pay for what you keep. And then the next evolution that we got into was that, well, actually people, and it's very obvious, like they go to the mall because it has a variety of brands and shops, right? So you go there so you can, you can eat there, you can, do buy hundreds and hundreds of different brands. So it's kind of like convenient as well. So then Pomelo evolved into, I suppose, being a fashion platform, which also is a big gap in Thailand. If you think of Thailand, you don't really have fashion platform where they say Malaysia will have Zalora. If you go to Europe, you have Zalando, UK ASOS, and so on. And Thailand kind of like missing out a little bit on the fashion platform part, as opposed to you'll be only within marketplaces. So then we are like, okay, now what we can do is like via fashion platform, have 500 different brands. Everyone can try them in any of our location, using the great technology and great service that Pomelo is providing. And then that becomes like a compelling value proposition. Then now you're a woman, you can buy all these brands risk-free, you don't have to pay anything. When you go like during your lunchtime, you'll have 10 different dresses from 10 different brands, try everything, keep what you love, and then just check out, which makes it, I suppose, quite convenient from having to browse around. I suppose that you can just do it at the convenience of your phone. So it's kind of like where we go to. Now our retail is pretty much in most location in Bangkok, and we started to open, in some of the, I suppose, outskirts of Bangkok, like Rayong and so forth. We have Phuket as well. And we've been partnering with Central on most of their malls as well. So I think we'll continue to invest in retail, and we don't see retail going away. I think we just see it as a good complement for online, actually.
I think that is a very good point of view, Krab. So for you guys, what do you think is the missing jigsaw for this industry, in your opinion, on the retail industry?
I mean, I can go first, maybe. I think in a very one sentence, I think retail is an old industry, right? So it takes time to transform the retail industry. I do think I saw some quite strong improvement in the past year or two, 1 or 2 years. I think everyone is realizing the importance of I would say connected retail. I think this part quite important. So I think there is no secret sauce, right? I think it's just about digital transformation, and as was said earlier, I think really leveraging the top online partners to kind of like make the mall of the future as well. It's very easy for a mall operator, in my opinion, to transform by itself. It needs to have the support of other players. The same way Pomelo drive traffic to Central Mall, the type of customers going are young and tech-savvy customers that use app, they use technology, so they kind of like help the mall to also have that attraction of customers, and then in some ways it also push the mall to be more savvy because you have this type of customer. So it kind of like works hand in hand, I would say.
Thanks, John. I will also add from the GoWabi, like what we see the missing. So back in 2016 when we started, so we made some research on the beauty industry and spa here in Thailand. So we found that almost 80% of the time salons are empty. There is no customers. The staff is just playing the phone and like waiting for someone to walk in. So with like what we've done basically, so we create a platform which brings the customers like kind of traffic to the salons, and so now we see that with like good campaign, like marketing campaign, we can fully book the salon for like a couple of weeks. And in average, we see that the partners who work with us now, instead of 80%, maybe they like empty only like 40 to 50%. So we see that the technology helps to actually improve the revenue for the salons. And what we see is the missing, like next thing, which we also want to be part of, is the automation system for the salon or for the massage shop. Basically, the POS system, kind of CRM, maybe a stock management. So it's like all together, like maybe integration with some accounting tools. And this kind of system also, it will help salon and to us also to establish like real time availability system. So anytime we know, and like other partners who work with the salons, they know like how many slots are available, like how many like I don't know, room services and so on. So I think that's how we see it.
Yeah, I think I completely agree with Jong and Vadim. I think for us it's no longer disruption; it's all collaboration from here on. If majority of our tenants are like Pomelo or what GoWabi is bringing the traffic in, that would be an ideal situation for us. What I as John was saying, I don't think this is an unknown or a missing jigsaw. We're talking about omnichannel, the seamlessness of online and offline for a long time now. A lot of stuff being talked about it, but there's really no enough evidence to wholeheartedly say or accept that is already here. And I think a lot of effort has to go into retailers themselves. For instance, to make it online, offline, and to make it seamless, you need a single product catalog. For instance, you need to have a single customer view. You need to itemize your product, the real-time inventory, and with all that, everything opens up the opportunities to offer a suite of how the product will get to the customers, be they try it on, like Jean was saying, and then customers just have this freedom of coming in without having to pay in advance or book stuff in advance, like what GoWabi allowed the customers to do. And then they could choose it to deliver to their store doorstep or book it and try it. And once this thing established or the linkages established, what you have essentially is a searchable mall. Imagine that you can actually search a mall the same way. Like an offline mall the same way you would do for the online. You know exactly what items are available before you come in. If it's not available, you can order and get it delivered to your home. Or you're not happy with the actual product, you can come and have a look at the store and decide whether the product you're going to take home with you is the one you really want. Is it perfect enough for you? So I think a lot of things will open up once where we have all these technologies in play. And I think in the future, retail is about retail everywhere. There's no offline retail or offline commerce or online commerce. It's just commerce, as simple as that. And I think we're quite optimistic that our tenants will play a great role in creating all these and make it all possible.
I agree with you, Cap. I think we have to integrate the offline, online together to be the omni-channel with the seamlessly integrated experience for the customer. But before we end this sessions, I have one last questions. So based on your perspective, what technology that developers or user want to have in the very near future? Can you share with us one quick questions before we end these questions?
Yeah, I can share first. Recently we discovered there is kind of a big problem our customers facing when they use our app. They see that the all content is pretty much the same. Like if they open up every day, they see that not much changed on front page, on other pages, and each customer is seeing the same content. So they might feel it's a little bit boring sometimes. So we're trying to kind of use our own resources to reshuffle it or to readjust. But what we are looking for in the near future is recommendation system, kind of based on the customer history of purchase, or maybe what customer we do some survey, something like this. So I think that's one of the technologies which should improve the user experience and give customers kind of a new feel of how to interact with GoWabi.
I think this is very important to having the kind of personalized experience to know the customer preference, and you tailor-made the content or the special promotion for one individual customer. I'm very agree with you on this thing. Yes. So
exactly. Thank you.
I think if I take Pomelo angle, I think I said like a bit earlier, right? It's like ultimately people like, I think, the idea of super apps in Southeast Asia. I think it's very clear. I mean, every market has super apps now, almost, and everything, and I think it has a huge benefit for it. I think if I take for us, right, ultimately what we want is to make our customer happy, but we also want to help other brands to grow themselves into the region. Today you have hundreds and hundreds of fashion brands in Thailand, locally made, doing pretty well, good sales. Like even name like Rally Movement, let's say, would be a good one, and so forth. And ultimately we want to basically be that central platform that can help them to grow and scale across country without having to be part of heavily discounted marketplace without naming them, I suppose. I think we want to be that partner where basically, like, if you're a local hero from Thailand, a fashion brand, we enable you to sell across country within a fashion environment where you get access to fashion customers. Maybe we even unlock our retail space in Singapore, and you're able to enter the Singapore market through our retail stores, and you're able to sell your product for the first time without having to like unlock huge capital like upfront. I think this is actually our view a little bit now. It's like ultimately customers want to get access to more and more products in an easy manner, and it's still not easy in Thailand, right? If you want to buy a lot of the cool brands from the States today, like cool sneakers, you still have to pay a lot of tax to import. Even like the other day I was thinking that, if you want to get limited edition Nikes, right, in Thailand, it's pretty much inexistent. When if you are like in Europe and US, it's everywhere. You can just buy them like next corner. So I think we want to be that platform that enables through technology and logistics to basically have everything that you would love to have, in a very fast and easy manner.
Thank you very much. I think I would like to thank you everyone for joining our session today. We have learned many things about emerging technology that support the retail industry today, from like Pomelo, GoWabi, and Central Pattana. And for the audience in these sessions, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment box, and please subscribe to our TDG channel for more exciting events like this in the near future. So I would like to thank you again for everyone, and take care ครับ สวัสดีครับ
Thank you.
Thank you very much.